What is going on, X community, X Stomp here? And today, people, we're going to be doing the quarterfinals matchups for Aron. And joining me is going to be Galaxybomb.
Hello. Congratulations to all you playoffs finalists, or those who made it through. This is going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened last week, but I did really well.
You were a ghost. Your ghost powers clearly won. You totally didn't rig it.
Well.
No, yeah, you did really well, so you're quite far ahead.
Yeah. So that being said, playoffs, we're gonna do something different. Basically, our locks. I may have explained it last, but you guys probably didn't hear. Basically, we're going to do it as we're gonna lock for one of the people that we're voting for this week to win it all. And that vote, that lock, is going to, if they actually win, we will get 5 extra points. If they lose, like next week, or if we just want to change our lock, we can swap it, and that will be 3 points instead. And then if they lose again, or if you want to swap it for the last match, that'll just be 1 extra point.
So it'll be all or nothing, basically.
Yeah, so the locks are going to mean a lot. Alright, so let's get on to this first match. We have Nukebomb versus Jackson H. This one already has me excited.
Oh yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting overall, I think. I mean, just looking at the lineup, the one thing I like about the playoffs is that we're finally getting cross conference, so you might even see some mons fighting against each other, different things along those lines. Like we have 2 Tauros Aquas here, which is pretty cool. But overall, I mean, both teams have a pretty strong core. And I'm not sure which of the two is
Are you looking
stronger.
at the right teams?
No, I'm not.
Because you said Tauros Aqua, I'm like, wait, are you looking ahead?
Sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong teams. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Hey, but there's a Tinkaton on this one too. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Cyclozar, honestly, I think Cyclozar was a sleeper hit this match. I love Cyclozar. I thought it was one of the best mons on my team personally. So I really like its utility. I think it has some great potential, and it is kind of packed into one mon. It can do a lot. The double Quagsire is interesting. It means that setup, it's unaware or it's the water absorb means that certain strategies maybe won't be as effective. Like Cloyster as an example. I don't know how effective Quagsire is at stopping Cloyster though, even with its unaware.
Well, if Quagsire Terras into like steel, there's no way to break it unless Jackson predicts it to Terra to steel, because usually you want to go obviously like grass for the Quagsire so you can kill it, but it's Terra Quag, which means it doesn't have to do that. So I don't know how Cloyster wins this one. I think Jackson H has to rely on his other mons.
Yeah, that might be interesting. Maybe we'll see a Terra Masquerade go for more of a special sweep.
Maybe.
Overall, I think the lineups are really solid, and I want to say that in this instance, I think I prefer Nukebomb's team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give Nukebomb the win Does differential matter in this at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give them a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, because, like, for instance, I usually say I have to stick with my Cloister Bros, but Nuke Bomb has all the answers to Cloister. Like, I'm going Nuke Bomb as well, but if you get it right, completely correct, you get an extra point, right? So,
Sure.
yeah, I'll go with Nuke Bomb. I just really like Nuke Bomb's team in general here. I mean, I can see the Masquerade doing stuff, but I know for sure Cloister. There's no way Cloister can win this one unless that Quag somehow dies or gets extremely weakened. But I don't see that happening. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Nuke Bomb, and I'm gonna go with a. Go with a 4-0.
Alright.
Alright. Next match, Davey versus Tofluck.
No surprise that both of the Cloister teams made it into playoffs, honestly. That thing is terrifying, and even though it's not Terra, it still put in a lot of work this season. And Davey's team really worked well around it. I feel like your Cloister team has a Klefki, and both of these Cloister teams have Klefkis. I wonder if there was some kind of collusion going on.
So usually what happens, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but usually Aron looks at Mega Aggron, sees what they're doing. So the fact that I picked Cloister plus Klefki, like one after another, they probably said, well, Klefki set up screens for it. It really helps out its weaknesses. So I think they kind of they wanted to go with it. And
took
honestly,
inspiration.
Yeah, that's what usually happens with Aron. So I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting to see a Lycanroc matchup here.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if both of them will come or neither of them. I mean, Lycanroc, I feel like on Davey's team is a bit stronger than the Lycanroc on Toph's team in this lineup, unless... Oh, and the Braviary Kazooie. I didn't realize that as well. So maybe with that, it's actually worthwhile for them to come on both teams. But I do think Davey's Lycanroc is stronger in this matchup.
I don't agree with that. Mainly because
Really?
Toph is Terra.
True.
And also, I think Stone Edge plus like Drill Run. I think it has Ice Fang. It's a Toedscruel. I think it has Fire Fang. It hits the Fortress. It has like.
Oh, does it have Fire Fang? Okay, I thought the Fortress could just wall it out pretty easily.
I think so, but even like Banded Stone Edge, like it has to do a good chunk.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like Lycanroc's better on Toph's side. However, speaking about Terra's, Galaxy kind of just goes in. The only thing that really wants to switch into a sludge, well, it doesn't have Sludge Wave anymore, I think. So Sludge Bomb would be Magneton, but which I think has to come in on Galaxy. But since it's Terra, it could easily just Terra Ground.
And Terra Ground's not even bad against... I mean, there are a couple of flying types on Toph's team, but Terra Ground is a pretty decent type because overall, I don't see too much that can do too much to like a ground type in general. We've got Samurai Hisui, of course, but what else? There's no grass, there's no other bulky waters or anything like that.
Low kicks, but that's not really taking it well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Dragology is really strong here. I think overall I do like Davey's team more. I think you're correct with that Lycanroc assessment on Toph. I think I was mistaken there. But I do feel like Davey's team is more solid, even if you don't count the Cloister Klefki combo. I think it just has more going for it. So I'm going to give a 4-0 victory to Davey.
Okay. I could definitely see Davey winning this one. But to make it interesting, I'm gonna go with Toph.
Okay.
I think I was kind of like 60-40, maybe like 55-45 on like which team I want to go for, but I do think Toph has the tools to break through Davy's team. Stuff like Lycanroc even just going Terra Rock, and with a Celerock hitting that Cloyster so it can't sweep. With Stone Edge just looking pretty amazing against most of the Mons on Davy's team. I think Toph can pull it out here, so I'm going to go with a 2-0.
All right.
Shinrai versus Blue is our next match.
All right. Blue really pulled it as he got into this division. He skyrocketed right up to the top and really proved that he knows what he's doing when it comes to setting up this team.
Yeah.
That being said, I think out of everyone in the playoffs, I think Shinrai's team is my favorite. I really like the composition. I think Shinrai's been doing a great job piloting it. I think the Noivern Galley combination is just almost unbeatable. Like, it's so hard to prep for both of those Mons. They're just so powerful offensively that you can just get rolled over in a heartbeat if you're not careful. And the defense is pretty good too. I mean, Toadscroll's just a wall that is so obnoxious to get through with all of its utility. Floatzel has great speed, and with the Terra, it can really be a very nice cover for a lot of more difficult matchups if necessary. And even stuff like Delphox can be a little bit hard to prep for because sometimes Magician can do things that you don't expect. You know, there's a little bit of tricksiness here. They can even run a Suicide Lead Glimmet if Toxic spikes or even just normal Poison is really effective in the lineup. Shinrai's team has a lot of potential, and I think their skills have really shown that it is a force to be reckoned with. I think Blue's team is fantastic, and they've proven themselves to be a capable pilot of the team. But I am favored towards Shinrai, so much so that I am actually locking on Shinrai's team to win this whole playoff season.
Okay. Yeah. Figured. All right.
And for this instance, I'm going to say Shinrai is going to take it with a 5-0 victory.
Wow. Okay.
Not anything against Blue, but Shinrai's team benefits from taking a advantage and capitalizing on it enough that it just kind of steamrolls the win. That's how Shinrai has won the last, pretty much almost all of the games, or most of the games. They got 2 6-0 victories, I believe. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you that Shinrai is gonna win this one. Like I can't really see anything that I can't. Well, I don't want to say I can't see anything because there is a Terra Jolteon there, but I mean, you basically have to Terra Ice to hit the Toadscroll, and then once you do that, it just makes, well, even Copperagic can come in if it's AV and eat hits, and then it could do damage back. So I don't know. I do like the Magician Delphox thing, because if you go like Power Herb Solar Beam against that Gastrodon, you open up a lot of room for your Floatzel if you happen to bring it to spam water moves even easier.
Yeah, and it's not even bad against Samurott.
Yeah, it does a lot. Well. Yeah, I do. I want to vote opposite, but I had to go shit right here. There's no way. But I'm gonna go with a. You know what? I'll go with a 3-0.
Okay.
It's gonna be pretty easy.
I think I have an idea of who you're locking on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, Board versus Shimon.
Oh man, look at that. Look at that terrifying Terra Tinkaton.
that terribly terrifying Tauros Paldea Aqua Ditto.
Yo.
So
There's also Serena's.
yeah, which I don't actually see coming because their hazards aren't great on either side, I don't think. Does Vespiquen know sticky webs? Could it be like a sticky web suicide lead or something?
No, it has toxic spikes. I think that's it.
Yeah, so I don't actually see Serena doing too much this matchup, honestly. Because if it were to come for anything, it would be kind of an AV wall, but both sides have really good answers to that, so it doesn't really bring much to the table, I feel.
I want to ask you this. What switches into Terra Ground Noivern?
Terra Ground Noivern. What switches into? I mean, I would say you would probably, I don't know, kill something off and go into Talonflame, but I don't even know how effective that would be.
Then you go into Talonflame, Donphan comes out, or Diancie comes out, even Tauros could, well, maybe not Tauros, but those two could come out, so I honestly think, like, obviously Tinkaton is Terra, but, like, Noivern kind of gets walled by Tinkaton, you just go ground, it also gets kind of walled by Muck, again, you just go ground. Noivern Terra Ground is looking really good this match.
What if you go Terra Flying Tinkaton?
I guess you could.
I mean, Shimon has no electric types.
I feel like Terra Fairy might be better, because then you lose that ground weakness and you could hit really hard.
Also true. Yeah, I could see a couple of options. Are you favoring Shimon then in this matchup?
Well, I'm trying to see both sides here, because I think both of these teams definitely have a way of winning. But I am leaning towards Board.
Okay.
What are you thinking about this match?
I don't know. I think Noivern has proven itself. I mean, just like we were talking about the Cloisters, we have 2 Noiverns, I think, in the finals. So that just kind of goes to show Noivern's really strong, and it is really hard to beat. And you really have to prep around it pretty well, or else, like you said, it can just come in and something dies, and then if you try and switch out, you switch into the rest of your team and you continue that loop. But the rest of Shimon's team is also fantastic. I mean, Donphan has really proven itself. Kamala is terrifying for some reason. Diancie can absolutely crush if necessary, but is also super defensive. And Terra Berserker is also really cool. Overall, I think I like Shimon's team more.
Okay. All right.
I love Gardevoir on board's team. I'm not a huge fan of Talonflame. I think it's kind of overrated in terms of like point value. It's a good Pokemon for sure, and it can do a lot, especially with certain things in this gen. But I don't think it's worth the 18 points personally. And I think it's kind of a one-trick pony, if that makes sense. I do like higher point mons to be a lot more versatile and have a lot of potential, and I think that's why I don't favor it as much. But that being said, Noivern, it just kind of does the same thing, which is just kill everything. So who knows? But either way, I think Noivern, like in this instance, I would absolutely pick Noivern over Talonflame if I were given the option. But yeah, so I would say Shimon is going to win this one. Maybe we'll say 1-0. We'll make this one super close.
Okay. Yeah, so the reason why Talonflame is so high up is mainly because we wanted it to be in still, but also if we put it any lower, I mean, Terra Talonflame's insane. Now, obviously, it's not Terra this match, so yeah, it's pretty, like, 18 points for Talonflame is a lot, especially because it's not, Terra. But still, I think Gardevoir can poke holes in this team. I think Gardevoir can kind of just spam Moonblast here. The switch-ins are like Typhlosion and Berserker, before Terra, obviously. So Moonblast seems kind of free. Also Tinkaton obviously looks really good here because it's the same thing. It's fairy. There's 3 fairy types on board, mind you.
Oh yeah, true.
I just realized. So I think that's why board is doing so well. Fairy OP.
It's because they stole all the fairies from everyone else.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I have to go with board. I'm gonna go with what I do. Let's see, 4, 2, and 3. I'm gonna do another 2-0.
Now, are you locking on board?
I am between board and Nuke Bomb.
Interesting.
I've loved just looking at Nuke Bomb's team every single time it shows up, and just like Shinrai's team, they both have only lost once, so they've proven that they know how to use their team really well. They both have great differential, so I think both are really good candidates to win this. I do think board also is a candidate to win this. I think if Nuke Bomb loses, I'm for sure gonna go with board, but I have to go with Nuke Bomb for this matchup. Or, well, yeah, to start, I will go with Nuke Bomb.
All right.
All right. So that was the quarterfinal matches. Obviously, next week there will be only 2 matches, so the videos will start to get shorter and shorter. But we'll probably put in a lot more thought into these matches as we keep going. As for the last match, like at least it'll be finals, we'll have to put in a lot of thought into it and stuff like that. But yeah, that is it for quarterfinals, and good luck to everyone who made it in. And if you didn't, thank you for joining this season. It was a great season.
Yeah, this season was great.
Yeah, we only had like a few drops, which is very surprising. Like, we had a few back-to-backs that were kind of, it was like maybe 3 or 4, and then there was like maybe 1 or 2, so yeah, maybe like 5 or 6 drops, which when we have how many people this season?
A lot.
Yeah, like what, 64 people? Like that's nothing. So thank you guys for sticking it out, and if you replaced, thank you for replacing. Obviously, you guys are amazing, and yeah, we will see you for semifinals.
Good luck, folks.
All right, peace.